Hi everyone, how are you doing and welcome back. So today I'm going to be bringing 5 quick tips for both new and returning players to Battlefield 5. If you find this useful, make sure to drop a like down below, and if you have any more tips, drop a comment as well. And without wasting any more time, let's jump into it. The first tip, I've seen quite a few people ask this question and get confused by it, and it's how to tell if a V1 rocket is either a friendly or an enemy, and there's a real simple trick to be able to sort of tell the difference. If the V1 rocket and noise is kind of coming from your spawn, then it's friendly, and if you see it coming from sort of the enemy direction or hear it, then it's best to get off the point because it's more than likely coming at you. Here's a quick clip on what you should be listening and looking out for with the V1 rocket. So tip number 2 is something that can help with your awareness on the battlefield, and that's with the sort of deploy screen map. As you can see, it's not a static map, it's actually getting constantly updated live, so you can see both teammates and enemy positions on here, and with that you can sort of pick where you want to spawn, you know, maybe where the bulk of your teammates are, so you can maybe spawn somewhere else and maybe hold that flank. And also, if you look carefully, you do have to like kind of look in a bit and squint. You can see sort of enemy vehicles and enemy player movements that haven't been marked, and I've used this a few times to be able to see like if there's a sort of a transport vehicle that's sort of flanking around us with enemies in there that can like sort of use it as a mobile spawn point, or if there's sort of tanks or large groups of enemies sort of moving around that haven't been spotted. And I've been able to use this information to spawn in and sort of stop them from being able to push. So just keep an eye out on this map because it can help when picking kind of where to spawn and where to kind of engage enemies next. So tip number 3 is about using all the sort of inbound and out of bound shortcuts. I don't know if these are meant to be added in by DICE, but on many of the maps there's sort of these shortcuts that you can take. I've covered them in previous videos, so I'll leave a link to them in the description, in the pinned comment, and also at the top of this video as well for you to check out and sort of learn about them. They are really useful. You can use it to outflank the enemies, you know, come behind them and just cause havoc behind the enemy lines. And also it's just useful for you to know as well, so they can't be used against you. So you can kind of, whilst your team may be focusing on one sort of pinch point in the map, you can be sort of checking this area out to make sure that the players won't be sort of outflanking you via these methods. So tip number 4 is all about movement. In Battlefield 5 you have the ability to sort of slide, and within the slide you can jump. But however, it does cancel the slide out if you do it sort of mid-slide, so I always tend to do it towards the end of the slide. And what this enables you to do is be able to sort of jump over walls, so instead of having to wait for the slide to finish, you can sort of jump towards the end of the slide and be able to just hop over certain walls without having to wait sort of for the slide to end, sort of stand back up and then jump over. So it's just a real useful mechanic to be able to sort of get around the map quicker and kind of not get caught out in the open, you know, when you're kind of trying to get into cover quickly. You can sort of drop a slide, jump over the wall, and sort of be away. I use it from time to time just because it throws off the enemy as well, because they don't expect you to sort of pull this. So tip number 5 is about the troop transport vehicles. So whether it's a half track like you see on the screen now, or the boats that you can get in the Pacific, both sort of squad mates and teammates can spawn on these. So normally you can only spawn on squad mates. However, with these vehicles, as you can see in the clip above, you can get teammates to spawn on you. So with these vehicles, you know, you can use it to sort of push through and flank around the enemy like I'm doing here, and kind of get in their spawn and kind of get behind flags if it's on conquest, and sort of just allow your teammates to spawn on there, and sort of then cause a problem behind their lines, whether it be back capping objectives or just going behind them and sort of having another sort of shooting them from different angles, you know, giving them something to think about. So if you get the chance to sort of get in this vehicle and sort of drive it around, don't try and jump out straight away when you get behind the enemy or push through. Just sit in it for a bit like I'm doing here, and sort of just allow teammates to spawn on you, and sort of then from there, you know, you can let them go and capture flags, and you can sort of just drive around and just provide support for them. That's it for today's video. Whether you're new to Battlefield 5 or been playing since day one, I hope you find these tips useful and helpful. If you did, drop a like down below and comment any other tips you have as well for any other players to help them get better. If you're looking for more content like this as well, whether it be tips or other Battlefield content, consider subscribing as well. I've got plenty more videos along the way, especially with Battlefield 2042 coming out at the end of this year. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one.